Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Javier with The Real Javier Novoa, a channel, a platform, and a modality where we apply the principles of philosophy, spirituality, and mysticism to rapid lifestyle transformation. And tonight, I have a very big and important video for you. I'm going to be taking you through an initiation of sorts. And for those of you who've already studied this material, for those of you who are advanced in manifestation, well, you already know this and have already probably embodied this. But the layers of this onion and the depths and profundity into which we can dive into this topic is endless. And as Marcus Aurelius said, we have to keep these principles constantly before our minds. And for those of you who have not delved very deeply into this, it's going to be very important. Because starting this week, starting tomorrow, indeed starting today with this and the days ahead, we're going to be starting to go much more specific, and we're going to start going and applying these principles to your specific rapid lifestyle transformation. That's very quickly transforming your life, getting off the prison grid, getting off being dependent from a boss. I'm talking about within 6 months to 1 year. It's going to be an accelerated process. It's going to be unlike anything that you've probably ever experienced. And in order to be able to take this acceleration, in order to be able to withstand the resistance which is going to inevitably come up on your path due to past resistance, and in order to keep the momentum going, you're going to have to know the concept that we're going to be presenting. Not only the concept, but the initiation, the embodiment. And I'm offering you today, either for if you've done this or if you're going into this for the first time, what will be an initiation. And for those of us who have been practicing this for a long time, it will still be an initiation, because every moment is new and every moment is now. And that's the basic premise of this video. This video is about taking back your power. It's about inhabiting your power. And what is your power? Your power is nothing other than focusing upon the now. And I don't want to sound cliche, but that's precisely what this is. The power of now. Now, we did do a video a few weeks ago about the book The Power of Now, which is a great book by Eckhart Tolle. And I recommend that you all read this. But what we're attempting to communicate now is something even more profound and hard-hitting, in that it deals with your power. And this is stemming from a quote from the great Jane Austen, who was speaking as Seth, who was channeling Seth, for those of us who have read the Seth books. And Seth said, all of your power is in the now. It's a simple statement, but it can lend itself to years of contemplation in order to gain this knowing, and most importantly, in order to embody it. For remember, knowledge is not only stored in the mind. True knowledge manifests itself through practice and through visceral knowing. And it's a feeling. It's almost like a clicking into place. It is very similar to getting into state. Indeed, we can say that once you know, once you have assimilated a piece of knowledge, you are in the state of that knowledge. I want you to assimilate this knowledge. I want you to know it well. And that is this. I want you, and you've probably heard this, but do you know it? I want you to know it well. Nothing else or no other moment exists other than now. There is not, nor has there ever been, another time than the time of now. Even if you were to travel back in time, let us say to prehistoric times, once you got there, you would still be in the now. And as banal as this statement might sound, once you grasp it, and once you apply it, and once you run with it, it has staggering implications. And it's going to insulate you and protect you from any adverse effects that can happen. Why is that? For the simple fact that nothing can happen to you tomorrow. Nothing can happen to you a minute from now. Anything that happens can only happen in the now. And if nothing's happening to you now, then nothing can happen to you now. What does that mean? That means the only thing that can assail itself or insert itself into your experience is that which you give permission to insert itself into your experience. Because if the now moment is tranquil and calm, then ostensibly all you would have to do is abide in that tranquility and abide in that calmness in order to extend that now moment. Because after all, only one moment exists. The great Bashar did say only one moment exists in all of time. It's just seen from different points of view. Because what is time, ladies and gentlemen? There's the mechanical time that we have on our clocks, and it's useful for this 3D experience. And as we know, if you've studied my scale of being with divinity at the top and physicality at the bottom, we did split into duality and into multiplicity in order to have that experience. So what we are is we are divinity having a physical experience. And then, of course, time manifests itself. And that is the time of the movement of the earth around the sun and so on and so forth. That is the time of mechanical objects which measure minutes and seconds. But I ask you, even as I watch this clock ticking on my laptop right now, I can only see that in the now. It is only now. And if you read great philosophers like Bergson and others, they have spoken about that there is a now which is a real and actual thing apart from and beyond the mechanical measurements of time that we call time. So in reality, even the ticking of the clock, all you're seeing is a sequence of movements, but that movement has to take place in your awareness, and your awareness can only be now by definition. So therefore, it is a tool. You can use that tool, for example, to schedule an appointment. But know deep within you that now only exists. Now there's another kind of time that Krishnamurti and great philosophers taught about, and that was psychological time. This is the time that we're talking about that has absolutely no existence, because it has no physical existence. That's the thing that you worry about happening tomorrow. That's the thing that happened in the past that you regret in the past. All of this worry and regret is psychological time, and that is created by the mind. And you can escape it in an instant. What do you think all of these tools, processes, and exercises that we've been presenting in our channel have been about? It's solely for the purpose of bringing you into the present moment. The breathing, it slows down your mind and it brings you into the present moment. Now, advanced practitioners of this, advanced practitioners of presence, will be able to do this in a moment's notice. Why? Because you see, the breathing calms you down in order to allow you to focus upon the more subtle sounds and sights of the environment, basically, so that your inner body can calm and so that you'll have awareness. But what does the advanced practitioner know? He knows that even those disturbances within the body themselves do not need to be calm in order for him to be in the now. No, you can be in the now and your heart can be racing. Therefore, there's no real reason even to have to calm down. You don't have to calm yourself down. Although that's nice, and it will happen as a consequence of your bringing yourself into the now. But there's a much quicker tool. Eckhart Tolle talks about this. And that is, we can use all of these processes and tools. I use them every day, multiple times a day. But for those of us who practice this and are practiced in being in the present moment, you will get so good that you'll be able to simply stop thinking. And it's not a concept, because if you try to stop thinking, you're not going to be able to do it, because that in itself is a thought. But what you can do is you can just, in one moment, simply be the presence through which everything's happening. Marcus Aurelius even said, there was one quote in the Meditations where he said, blot out all desire, all thought, all imagination, all opinion. And you can do it within a second, and all of it can be wiped out, and you are at that instant in the present moment and in total tranquility, because you are the tranquility. Try it now. Just being in that complete silence, in the complete present moment, even allowing your thoughts to just roll by in your mind as clouds, but not stopping and giving any energy to any of them, that is your power. Get in the present moment more and experience your power. When I talked about the power of now, a few weeks ago now, I believe, we said that I gave a challenge, and I'd love to know if any of our viewers have done this challenge. I'd love to see in the comments how it worked out. But I challenge you for a week. If not, if that sounds too long, even for just a day, do it starting tomorrow. Simply do everything as if you were that divinity simply having a physical experience, and you're simply observing everything. Simply be completely present and observe everything. You realize that you're not even your body, you're not even your mind, you're not even your breath. You're something that is above that. You're something that is observing all of that movement. And then you can observe the observer. For those of you who have not done this or read about this before, this may sound confusing or complicated, but I invite you to try it. Simply try to be still and just act as if you are the space through which everything is happening. You are the observer through which everything is happening. That is your power. Once we get comfortable in this power, what can we do? We can now use the major tools of this course in a new way, in a way that is not struggling to get somewhere. Because as we've talked about in innumerable videos already, if you're using a process to get somewhere, it will fail, or you will get what you want with great struggle, and it will be admixed with negative emotions, right? But no, each process is to be used as an end in itself. Basically, everything else that we talk about on this channel, including the videos that we're going to be going into that are very important on the worldly sphere, in the world of 3D, it's very important that you get independent from the prison grid. It's very important that you start being able to have space and time to create. But all of this is also part of the play and part of the illusion, for we're here to play with energy. What's the important and the only necessary thing? That's that you be the observing presence in the now, and you know that you know that you know that every desire is granted immediately in the now. Now, how can we use that as a tool? As Neville Goddard said, and as many of the spiritual great teachers said, whenever you desire something, give it to yourself the moment the desire comes upon you. Do not wait. As the Bible said, you do not have to wait 4 months for the harvest. Give yourself the harvest now. Imagine yourself in the state that you want to be now. If you're in your office and you want to be in your bed, imagine yourself now in your bed. But here's the key, because I'm taking away from you these links to the prison grid that keep you in dependence and keep you in codependency and keep you trapped in your present circumstances. And that is being dependent on externals. Do not do this in order to affect an outcome later. Because when we're imagining, and in fact, indeed, the beginning students, we tell them, test this. And indeed it works. And it will work for some things, but it will be very sporadic and it won't last that long. I just have news for you, ladies and gentlemen. But if you imagine yourself being in your bed, then that will happen. It has to happen. It's law. If you assume yourself there, and you're completely knowing that it is done, you will be there. If you imagine yourself on the beach, you will be there. The amount of time that it takes is the amount of time that it takes for you to feel it natural. But you can bypass all that because you know that there is no time, there is no future, there's only now. Therefore, whatever you imagine, you are there now. Therefore, you can completely give yourself to that, and you need nothing else. We're adults here. We no longer need a reward at the end. And in fact, expecting that reward at the end shakes us up. Because then we ask ourselves, are we doing it right? We ask ourselves, well, if this doesn't happen, that means law of assumption is not true. And then all of these subconscious conversations are going on, right? We can cut them off at the sword of presence. Be where you want to be now. And ironically, if you do that, you will get into flow, and then you'll see how your life transforms and flows. Because everything that we implement in this channel is for the purpose of making your life better. And I promise you, and you will prove it to yourself, this unconditionality, this detachment from worldly circumstances will make your worldly life better. I promise you this. But you have to give yourself to it and to do it. So that's the key. The key is don't worry about something happening in the future. Give it to yourself now. Pursue the process that you want to pursue. And we're going to be giving many in this channel, including the planning phases, the purchasing of property, and so on and so forth, the exploration of business ideas and ideas for income. But do all of these with complete presence and not trying to affect an outcome in the future, but rather experience all that you want to experience in the moment, and know that there's only one moment, and that is the present moment. This is your initiation, ladies and gentlemen. It's an initiation into the present moment, and it's going to make the path that's going to be unfolding here in the next few days as we go into the nitty-gritty of rapid lifestyle transformation. It's going to make that path very smooth, and the resistance is going to come up and you won't care. And then before you know it, people around you will be referring to you as a miracle worker. They'll be saying, how is all of this stuff coming into your life so fast? And you will tell them, I hardly noticed it anyway, because I've been living on another film roll. And pretty soon, you will settle for nothing less than living in your highest excitement and your highest joy. In order to live in your highest excitement and your highest joy, in order that they don't transform into an opposite of grief or of anxiety, you have to live in the present moment. You have to live in the now. So I invite you all right now just to drop into presence right now. I invite you to just hear the sounds in the room, see the perceptions, feel the movements of your inner body. If any thought comes, just observe it. As the early spiritual teachers taught about, go into the silence. Yes, you are there. Now imagine yourself doing anything that you'd like to be doing now. It could be something fun. Imagine yourself swimming on the beach. Imagine yourself getting a massage in a spa. Imagine yourself sitting down and doing some thought-provoking analysis or work. And you're doing this now. You're not doing this so that you can get it in the future. You're not trying to use law of assumption or law of attraction to attract anything to you or to get anything to you. No, because you're doing it right now. You can see it. You can see the If you're on the beach, you can see the water and you can smell the salt. You can feel the sand on your feet. And ladies and gentlemen, it's been scientifically proven that the brain does not know the difference between an image which is internally generated or an image which is coming from the quote-unquote outer. And as the great physicist John Wheeler said, who was a friend of Einstein, he said, "There's no out there out there." And then just open your eyes and realize that you're back in this other space, which is just another film roll, just another possibility in the endless realms of possibility of the universe. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your initiation into your power. Your power is in the now. There's no other moment besides the now. Be in the now. And we're fixing to go into the details of rapid lifestyle transformation. You don't want to miss the next few weeks, because we're going to be giving you step-by-step guidance on how to build a lifestyle that honors your individuality, your uniqueness, and that gives you the time and the space to create masterpieces in your life. I am doing coaching calls also, ladies and gentlemen, where I personally take you down the path of this methodology, and I will show you how to do it, and we will work on anything that you want. I bring my years of experience in business and consulting, as well as a unique approach in the study of these spiritual and philosophical modalities to give you a power punch to transform your lives, ladies and gentlemen. Please subscribe and like to the channel. Thank you for commenting on the videos. Thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for watching the videos, because it helps us get the word out, and we are expanding the consciousness of the world one person at a time. So until tomorrow, till very soon, this is Javier. We'll see you tomorrow with great love and appreciation.